The Xcom initiative was established to protect the world from an alien invasion. But the one thing they weren't prepared for was an attack from within. Xcom Enemy Within is the expansion to the original Xcom Enemy Unknown. As with the core game, your objective is to build up your base, train your soldiers, and defeat the aliens that are trying to invade Earth. But, like a good expansion pack, it mixes up the formula in some fundamental ways. The big new addition is a new resource called Meld, a kind of special nanomaterial that, like alien alloys, must be recovered from either downed UFOs or alien incursions. Now, what's special about Meld is that you have to collect it in a certain number of turns or it becomes inert. This adds a new measure of tensions to battle because you can't just sit back and wait for the aliens to come to you like before. If you want Meld, you've got to move forward and claim it for yourself. Once you have Meld at your disposal, you can use it to take advantage of Enemy Within's other big new feature, which is the ability to upgrade your troops. For upgrades, your troops can receive either augmentations, which gives them specific bonuses to particular areas such as a slight regeneration or a resistance to mind control, or they can go full-on cyborg super soldier and become mech troopers, capable of using the heaviest armor and the biggest weapons in the entire game.
Closing to engage target.
Now, the addition of things such as mech troopers means that the game becomes a lot more interesting. You have a lot more tactical options available to you and, frankly, a lot more power as well. To try and balance this out, your opponents have a few new surprises as well. The aliens get a heavily armored version of the sectoid called the Mechtoid to go toe-to-toe with your own mech troopers, while on the human side, you'll find yourself encountering a strange clandestine organization known as Exalt. As it turns out, Exalt wants to use alien technology for their own benefit, and has no problem using your own tactics and weapons against you in order to accomplish that.
Engineering of possible repairs. I'll need minor repairs at some.
And yet, probably your biggest challenge is going to be the ever-dreaded base assault, where a handful of your troops must try and defend their position against wave after wave of enemy soldiers. And there's no retreating here. If you fail, it's game over. One of the fascinating things about this expansion is that even though a lot of material gets added, you're not required to use any of it. You don't have to upgrade your soldiers. You don't have to collect Meld. Even though Exalt might make trouble for you, you don't have to spend resources confronting them, as defeating them is not necessary for the completion of the game. In fact, if you wanted to ignore all this and just go for the truest Iron Man challenge you could possibly imagine, there's a bunch of new starting conditions that make the game even harder. In the end, Enemy Within is one of the most impressive expansions I've ever seen, in that it adds a bunch of new material but doesn't reduce the challenge of the original. If you liked the core XCOM experience but maybe wanted to try a second playthrough on a harder difficulty, there's no better crucible than this. Well, thanks for listening, and don't let those sectoids get you down.